business partners for joining us today. As I said, my name is Bipul Das, and I've been part of the international team for last 15 years. And today is my privilege and honor to welcome my colleagues and our expert guest speakers to talk about hospitality and the tourism program. So today we are joined by the panelists here, which you can see on the screen. I'll start with Ada Chen, who's the International Service Manager, and she's been here for many years, even longer than I have been here. And she was the one who welcomed me as an international student. So she has seen me grow as an international student, and again joining her as a colleague for the last 15 years. Thank you, Ada, for joining us today. We also have Kavita Magason, who has been here for many years, and we are so privileged to have her in the international team. So she's leading the applications team within the international team. So you might be hearing from her, or you might have heard from her over the years, processing the offer letters and even helping students with processing the student visa and post study work visa later on. But today, the limelight is on our guest speakers, who are, again, very warm welcome to Brian Dorian, who is the academic leader for tourism and hospitality at Ohomai Institute of Technology. And we are also privileged to have Peter Blakeway, who's the principal academic for tourism and hospitality. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, we are going to cover two main topics, and the two main programs we're going to talk about today is the first one being Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management, and the second one, which is a very exciting new degree coming up in 2024, and that is the Bachelor of Culinary Arts. So, without any further ado, I would like to give the mic to Brian Dorian, and he can kick off the webinar and share more information. And please remember, we have a Q&A tab in the screen below. If you got any questions, please do pop it in the question and answers tab below, and we can answer them later on at the end of the presentation. So I'll pass on the mic to Brian. Brian, all yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Bipul. Kia koto, ko Brian Dorian taku ingoa. So my name is Brian Dorian, and like Bipul said, I'm the academic leader for tourism and hospitality. I'd like to thank the international team for this opportunity. So I'm a graduate of Toi Ohomai, so I studied here many, many years ago and did a culinary arts qualification. And that really gave me the opportunity to explore the world. So I've travelled and worked in Australia, in New Zealand, and in 1997, I got the opportunity to work for the New Zealand ambassador in Washington, DC, promoting New Zealand as a tourist destination and promoting all New Zealand has to offer in regards to food and beverage. So that was a pretty exciting opportunity. For the last 10 years, I've been in education, and I started off as a chef tutor, and now I look after all the tourism and hospitality area, which includes culinary arts, tourism and hospitality, food and beverage, baking, and I really enjoy it. So yeah, I'd like to pass you on to my colleague, Peter Blakeway.
Kia ora tātou, ko Peter Blakeway tōku ingoa, no tōronga ahau, no ingarangi o ka tapuna, tēnā tātou katoa. I thought I'd give you a little translation of what that actually meant. So we started off with greetings everyone. My name is Peter Blakeway. I live in Tauranga in the Bay of Plenty in New Zealand. No, Ingarangi o Katapuna means that I am originally, or my family is originally from England. And Tēnā tātou katoa means hello to all of us. I guess following on from Brian, I've been in New Zealand for the last 20 years. Prior to that, I was very much in the Michelin-starred end of the restaurant industry throughout Europe, from Holland to France to England, Scotland, into the States, with times in some incredible restaurants. About 20 years ago, we moved as a family to New Zealand, and I opened a cook school and a food media business that was really cool, and in at a time when New Zealand food and food industry was just forging ahead and becoming really new and interesting. And around about what I've got to remember now, 8 years ago, I joined Brian in the teaching of both culinary arts and hospitality tourism. So I do teach on the hospitality tourism management degree currently, and next year we'll be teaching the culinary arts degree.
Thanks, Peter. So I'll just give you a quick overview of our programs. So we're here today to talk about the Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management. So this is a 3-year degree, and we have intake starting in November 2023, February 2024, and July 2024. This program is delivered at our Mikoya campus in Rotorua, and it is delivered over 4 days per week. So you're approximately on campus 22 hours a week, and then there's self-directed learning of about 20 hours per week. So self-directed learning is when you partake in study groups and prepare for your assignments and assessments. So like people mentioned, we have a new degree starting in 2024, the Bachelor of Culinary Arts. And again, it's a 3-year degree, 360 credits at level 7. And we have a February intake in 2024. So that's the overview of the programs. So tourism and hospitality sits in the Faculty of Business Design and Service Industries, which includes business, tourism, hospitality, hair and beauty. So I'd like to show you a video. It's got lots of hair and beauty slides in there, but it really gives you a good overview of what a day will look like when you're studying at Toi Ohomai. Sorry about that. I believe there was no sound, but I hope you got an idea of what that looked like. So Peter is going to give us an overview of the Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management. Peter is currently a tutor on that program. And then he's going to give you an overview of the BCA Culinary Arts degree, and he will be leading that out in 2024.
Thanks, Brian. Almost before we look at the actual courses and how they're made up, I think it'd be really useful to look at what is happening in tourism in Aotearoa, New Zealand, right at this minute. Obviously, it's been a really interesting time over the last 3 years for everyone, everywhere in the world, whether it's international travel, international tourism, or international study. It's COVID has been a really interesting time for all of us. That is now over a year ago. Our tourism industry was really starting the rebuild. We've now in New Zealand, we're not completed the rebuild, but we're pretty much back to where we were pre-COVID, which in the sense of the New Zealand economy was effectively being the #1 export for New Zealand, a huge business. The difference now, though, 3-4 years ago at the start of COVID, we lost a lot of our practitioners, a lot of our tourism professionals understandably went home. Some left the industry. So we now have an industry that is craving skills, that is desperately trying to drive forwards and showcase the beauty and amazingness of Aotearoa New Zealand, but is still struggling with the lack of the lack of skills that used to be available, and is desperately pushing for new professionals coming into the industry. So it's an amazing time for New Zealand tourism, to see the investment that's going on around the country, and to see what's happening now in tourism. And please go online and Google search some of the amazing tourism attractions that are doing so well in New Zealand right now, whether it be Hobbiton near us, or or the things going on in Queenstown. It's truly special. For those that are obviously outside New Zealand, there's some really interesting things to note in the way that New Zealand tourism is built. The two tourism centres in New Zealand, we've got one in the North Island, one in the South Island. So on the South Island, it's Queenstown, and they do an amazing job of their tourism. In the North Island, our tourism honestly is centered around Rotorua. Rotorua is the beacon of cultural tourism within New Zealand, and is constantly developing tourism, cultural stories that are very much what New Zealand tourism is all about. So placing the Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management degree in Rotorua is the natural home, the natural base for an applied degree like this. As you move into degree level study, everything in degree level study is staircased through. So the level 5, the first year, you're really looking at developing the basic academic research communication skills that are core to degree level study, but also core to hospitality and tourism management. It's starting to introduce that core knowledge and the principles of operational management in the tourism and the hospitality business. Level 5 is that start point, the core of what you will build, what with a degree like this would be a career. I could go through every course in detail, but I think I'd run out of time really quick, and Ada would start nodding at me. So just having a little look at one of the courses, like the food and beverage operations course. I picked that one because it's one that I'm teaching right now. And the food and beverage operations, every part of the hospitality industry is rooted in food and beverage. It's getting the point across that food and beverage is where we make money. Food and beverage is where we make businesses work. Understanding that level of customer service is absolutely key. So to give you an example, a previous cohort, in New Zealand, we have a public holiday called Matariki, which is one of our primary cultural celebrations of the changing of the season and welcoming in the next year and saying goodbye to last year. It's sort of like a new year, but it's based on the stars, and happens, pretty much in the dead of winter. So for those of you that are in the northern hemisphere, it would be like your solstice or the longest day, or whatever celebration you culturally bring. So it's a really important one for us. And one of the major projects for the students in the food and beverage was to deliver the iconic Matariki celebration for the campus in Rotorua. Truly pressured event, but the last one went really well. It was a wonderful time. Gives you a brief idea of one of what's important in level 5, but two, the sort of applied nature of what we do. So if we look at level 6, we take a step up from the level 5 of learning core knowledge, and we move now into the core professional and analytical skills, and the understanding of the strategic management and business environment in relation to the tourism hospitality sector. So it's definitely a step up, both academically, but also in that strategic thinking that we're looking for our students to develop, so they can take that into the hospitality and tourism industry. And again, looking at these, there's several of those courses that I deliver. You look at something like product development for tourism and hospitality. We look at getting our students to genuinely design from scratch a new product, a product that can be taken to the market, a product that will be shared with the industry, following really solid design technique, but in an absolutely practical sense. It's really important that we build on the first year into the second year and start to build that strategic thought process around the industry. That takes you up into the third year. By the time we get to the third year, your direct contact hours with me or my colleagues would be slightly less, because by now you are looking at where your place in this industry is going to be. So whether it's looking at entrepreneurship, whether it's looking at product innovation, or the internship and industry project. The internship would be a full semester in a business, working with those tourism businesses to help them develop their product, and also develop your skills alongside it. A really fascinating way of delivering an applied degree. Moving on to the culinary arts. So the culinary arts is a new to us degree. It is very much at the cutting edge of food design, and food design from an Aotearoa New Zealand perspective. So you'll see in the course descriptors there the word kai appearing an awful lot. In Te Reo Māori, kai means food, and food is what culinary art is all about. This degree is very much design-led, and so important for the New Zealand economy right now. For many years, New Zealand has been creating its own food story. Around the world, there are food stories from all cultures. New Zealand, we're quite new, so we're developing our food story almost as we go. For many years, that was sort of an American European model that was sat on top of New Zealand. And we've changed. If you look around the restaurants in New Zealand, who are on the back of the tourism, the increase in the tourism industry, our restaurants are driving forwards with some of the most innovative food anywhere on the planet. It is truly unbelievable. We're blessed in New Zealand with an incredible climate for growing things. We've got incredible soil structure that makes this country just beautifully fertile. We can grow anything. We're never too hot. We're never too cold, which means that our raw materials are truly stunning. We're also a little bit away from the rest of the world. So the products that we're getting from our moana, from our sea, are just incredibly pure. So what this degree is looking to do is to develop that true New Zealand look at what food is. So when you look at the courses that we've got, the level 5, we very much look at the level 5 as the emergent practitioner, the cook or food professional who has the capability of providing the culinary sector with the ability to plan, to organize, and to implement the production of dishes under observation. We're at the start point. That process of being able to care for self and your immediate location is really important. As we move on into the level 6 or the second year, we move from that emergent practitioner to the skilled practitioner. The idea at this point is that our students are now starting to look at beyond just themselves. They're looking at their community, their whether that be within their kitchen or within their business, but they're starting to take on the intentional leadership that food and the food industry is looking for. This is when we start to bring in the business forecasting and the business skills that will allow our graduates ultimately to be really claiming positions in the food industry, from as diverse a field as, food media to recipe design to food processing to restaurants to hotels to cruise lines. We've got it opens up all of those fields, which leads on obviously into the level 7 or the third year, which we look at the theory of being an expert practitioner, which really is when our graduates from the third year are not just starting to lead themselves and their community, but starting to lead society on a food-related basis. So at that point, we're looking at professional practice and how does that fit for the future of food in New Zealand and globally, but taking our Pacific vision on what that is. You'll see on those courses, we've got some really interesting applied areas around special topics and major CHI projects. So a major food project would be led by the student to bring together all that they'd learned in the previous 2 years and show their professional practice in the development of a new and unique New Zealand food product. A really exciting course. I hope that's given a reasonable vision of what 3 years in hospitality, tourism management, or culinary arts kind of looks like. There's a lot more in there for anyone that wants to dig a little bit deeper. Please ask a question. Brian.
Thanks, Peter. So Peter talked about our programs being applied. So we have a saying here at Toi Ohomai, learn by doing. So as you can see in the photos, all our tourism and hospitality and culinary students get out on field trips. So, which is really exciting. So it's not just being in the classroom, it's getting out and experiencing all that tourism and hospitality has to offer in New Zealand. We're also very big on guest speakers and getting guest speakers into our classroom to talk about what's happening in industry. So, for example, Peter at the moment is teaching food and beverage. So he gets food and beverage experts in to come and talk to his students. So we keep up to date of what's happening in industry. So it's a really exciting way to learn. Learn by doing, hands-on, getting out there and doing it. Pretty exciting. So the entry requirements for these 2 qualifications. So you need university entrance or equivalent for international applicants who come from non-English speaking backgrounds. An IELTS academic score of 6 with no band score lower than 5.5 is needed. For the BCA, there's some additional requirements. So that's the Bachelor in Culinary Arts. We require a CV. So a detailed CV outlining your interests and hobbies and where you studied and where you've worked and where you volunteer and things like that. We want to see that you're really interested in culinary arts as a career. As well as that, we need a letter of application. So just 500 words explaining the reason why you're applying for the Bachelor of Culinary Arts. What are your career goals and where do you see yourself once you're finished studying with us? These requirements are currently in the process of being approved for the Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism and Management as well. One last step is an international, for international students, is an interview. So Peter will get in touch with you and set up an interview, and he will just discuss with you your application and your goals. So career and academic pathways. So we have quite a few students that go on to higher education after they complete the degree. So we've had students go on to postgraduate studies and master's degree programs in business and teaching, which is really exciting. The majority of our students, when they're finished with us, they go into industry and get jobs. So I'd just like to highlight a few of them for you. So Ian, he came from Nepal, and he is now the Assistant General Manager at Solitaire Lodge in Rotorua. So Solitaire Lodge is a boutique hotel, and previously Queen Elizabeth stayed there when she came to New Zealand. So it's a very high-end establishment. Gianna just recently finished with us, and she's a front office worker at the Pullman Hotel in Rotorua. So that's a 5-star hotel in Rotorua, and she's also on a management training scheme, training to be a manager with that hotel. So that's pretty exciting for her. Charlie is the marketing manager at Motion Entertainment. She finished the tourism and hospitality degree with us last year. Kalinda is the duty manager at Gent Park. So Kalinda came to us from India, and we're very excited with his career. Yogi studied with us a couple of years ago, and he opened his own business. So he's the owner of Fix Cafe and Espresso Bar in Rotorua. Claude Manuel, he came to us from Korea to study, and he's now a customer service agent at the Rotorua iSite, which is very exciting. And we have T. Vaiora, who studied culinary arts with us, and Tumako, and they're chefs in Tokyo, Japan now. So that's pretty exciting. So fees. So the fees for 2024 are $25,000 per year. However, we note that you need some extra money while you're here. So a minimum of $20,000 for living expenses for each year you are in study. There are some additional fees, course-related costs for field trips. And if you're studying the Bachelor of Culinary Arts, you need a chef's kit and uniform. So I would just like to play you a video of Jordan. So I'll just ask my colleagues to please put their microphones on mute. So Jordan just finished our tourism degree at the end of last year, and she is now working for Tourism Bay of Plenty.
Hi, I'm Jordan, and I am currently completing my degree, Bachelor of Tourism Management at Ohomai. I chose to study here at Ohomai because I've always had a passion for travelling and tourism staff, so I chose to come here and see where it would take me. Some of my highlights of this course have been getting to experience some of the tourism activities in Rotorua, like going up Mount Tarawera, and also experiencing networking events to meet people within the tourism industry. Now that I've completed my degree, I have currently gained a job with the total on the high side. Thanks to completing my degree, I've managed to gain the confidence and the skills to be able to get into that industry, and I'm really looking forward to working. If you have a passion for travel or tourism, I highly recommend studying here at Ohomai, because you get a wide range of knowledge about the whole tourism industry and also get to experience some awesome tourism opportunities within Rotorua. Hi, I'm Jordan.
So thank you, everybody. So Peter and my email are up there. You're quite welcome to email us and ask us any questions. Also, highly encourage you to visit us on Facebook. So if you search Toi Ohomai Tourism and Hospitality, there's some great pictures up there of what our students are doing, what they're cooking in the kitchens, their field trips. We post job opportunities up there. So it's a really great resource to have a look at, as well as the Toi Ohomai website. So we'll open it up for questions.
Yeah, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Peter. I've learned a lot about those two qualifications as you spoke, and it really inspired me to study again. I think just like to recap and summarize the main points. It is very much focused on the industry needs. So Toi Ohomai does not just deliver a qualification. We always talk to our business partners, the employers, seek their feedback, and then we create qualification that is going to be beneficial for the employees, but also for our learners. Even I can speak for myself. I've been a student of tourism management, and after being here for 18 years, I still apply those learnings in my day-to-day work environment. And that is what your students are going to experience when they come and study with us. Applied learning, fun environment, and leading to great job outcomes. So, all right. So we have our wonderful colleagues, Kavita and Ada, have already answered quite a few questions, but we still have few more. So we would love to take them and give them the answers as clear as possible. All right. So we have, if you allow me, I can start with the first question here. Sriana from Indonesia. Hi, Sriana. It's good to see you here. The question from Sriana is on level 7 internship and industry project. Is it included in the course or after they finish the courses? Is it provided by the institution or it's up to the student to find those internships?
So it's during the course. So it's in the 3rd year and it's during the course. So it's part of the program. So a lot of our students, as soon as they arrive in New Zealand, because they're studying tourism and hospitality, they're in demand. So they're already working in industry. So you can do your industry internship at the place you work, so you're earning money. But if you're not employed, we can find employment for you. I hope that answers your question. And I just wanted to mention that I forgot to mention Bipple. So he's probably our most successful graduate working at Toi Ohomai here.
Thank you, Brian. I'll take those compliments on board. I won't say no to that. But again, it's credit goes to my previous tutors and experienced people like you. I think the one thing I found at Toi Ohomai is that you're never alone. You are not just a number. People are there to help you all along the way. And it's not just getting the qualification. Even when you complete a qualification, you come back after 5 years and we still say hello and very warmly welcome you. I think that Manaki Tanga has always been special to Toi Ohomai, and that is what we want your student to experience when you come here. Again, thank you, Brian. Now, moving on to the next question here is from Lords from the Philippines, based in Auckland. Hi, Lords. Good to see you here. The Bachelor of Culinary Arts is more academic than hands-on compared to the level 4 or 5 diploma in professional cookery. So that's a question, sorry. So is the Bachelor of Culinary Arts more academic than compared to the level 4 and 5 diploma in professional cookery? And the second question to us is this degree could serve as a pathway to becoming a chef? And what kind of job opportunities a student can expect after completing the degree?
Absolutely. The level 4, level 5 is a really good and valid trade qualification. You graduate with a level 4, level 5, you will get a job in New Zealand. There are kitchens that will be desperate for you. The degree is grander than that. The degree, at the end of that, you'll get a career. That's different to a job. So from that point of view, I would suggest that you get so much more from the degree. Now, as for pathways and employment pathways, is it a pathway into a commercial kitchen? Absolutely, absolutely. It's a pathway into running a commercial kitchen. That's the point. The leadership skills that you'll take on that are really important. But it's so much more than just running a restaurant kitchen. It's a pathway into the food industry, the broader food industry, whether that be recipe design, food media, food blogging, food journalism, travel journalism, everything to do with the food industry. If we look at the Bay of Plenty alone, we have a huge food industry, from kiwi fruit and everything that goes with it, from avocados and everything goes with it, to the food processing that's coming out of the Bay of Plenty right now, are crying out for qualified people that can take them to the next level. So pathways, 4 and 5, trade qual, get you a job. The degree, it's a career.
Peter, part of the question too was around the applied learning, so the doing, the practical.
Oh, yeah.
So, do you want to talk a bit about that?
Realistically, we're in the kitchen around about 2/3 to 3/4 of our time. And at the same time, the students have access to an experimental kitchen lab that is just for them. Not individually, for the whole, for the degree students, to be able to experiment and practice and hone their skills. So is it academic? Yes, it's a degree. Is it dominated by academics? No, it's an applied degree.
Can I ask an extra question on top of that one? So if the student want to become a chef, should be going to level 5, is 4 and 5, not this batch of culinary art. Am I right?
No, not at all. Not at all, Ada. The reality is that it takes a certain amount of tenacious spirit to successfully complete a degree. If all you're interested is in to get a job now, then you need the trade qual. You need the qualification, the level 4, 5. If what you're looking at is a future in the food industry, then you need a degree. It separates the two.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, gentlemen and Ada. Now, the next question is from Amanpreet Kaur. Is the Bachelor of Culinary Arts, does it have only one intake in February 2024?
Yeah, so like we mentioned, the degree is new to us. So we're just starting off slowly. So we're starting off with a small cohort. So so at the moment, we only have a February intake, but that may change in the future. We may offer it twice a year.
So let's start running before we start flying. And I'm sure once it takes off in February, our team will review and hopefully we can offer more intakes in the future. Thank you, Brian. Ritesh has got a question here. What are the pathway options for Bachelor of Culinary Arts and Bachelor of Hospitality and Tourism Management? I think we might have answered that, but would you like to add anything to it?
The pathway options?
Is it like, maybe he's asked, I'm not sure, I'm just preempting, maybe it's the job opportunities or further studies as in
If it's related to further studies, we've had quite a few. So if you study the Bachelor of Culinary Arts, you can go on to, it is only one further year to get a teaching degree, but you can go on to higher studies. So I believe Peter will give you a better answer because he's went on to further studies after the degree, didn't you, Peter?
Yeah, that's it. It's a really interesting way of looking at it. I did the degree a few years ago, went on from that to do a master's in design enterprise. I got onto the master's program because of the degree. And right at this minute, and I think this is a really important point to, for everyone to take about Toi Ohomai. We value education here so much that most of us are studying as well. So right at this minute, my culinary arts degree that turned into Master of Design Enterprise is now a doctorate in professional practice. It's not a doctorate yet. I've still got about 2 years, two and a half years to go. But it's something that's very important to us at Toi Ohomai. The vast majority of our team are studying right now, whether it's for degrees themselves or masters. Everybody is on that same journey. It gives us the ability. Point one, it means that we're constantly improving what we're doing and what we're teaching, but it also means that we truly understand what it's like to be a student. And I think that's vital for our students.
I completely agree on that, Peter. Even our colleagues, Ada is doing a PhD now.
Yeah.
Kavita has done a master's in thesis from Toi Ohomai. I've done my postgraduate. So, yes, the learning never stops.
No.
And it's amazing how you add to your skills and also your life experiences. And that flows on to the student in a positive way in the future.
Yeah.
All right. Now, the next question from Sushma is, what about the scholarship opportunities? Ada, would you like to answer that?
Yeah, I can answer that. So far, I think we had some scholarship available for the Pacific Islander students, which is on the website. I'm not quite sure whether the institute will open more scholarship for other international students at this stage. I don't know, but definitely for the Pacific Islander students, is the Pacific Grant is available for 2024. So if you know more about it, let us know. I'll put an email address in our chat box, and you can contact us directly, and then I'll provide you to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ada. Now, the next question, we have already covered that. Probably, I'm not sure if anyone wants to add to it. Priya is asking, hi Priya, please tell us about the entry requirements for Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management. Priya, we have already answered that, but we will be sharing this presentation later on. Does anyone want to add to it, or because we will be sharing the presentation which has got the entry requirements, and you're more than welcome to contact our international applications team for any further clarifications.
Well, I can probably add for the hospitality one, applied hospitality, we're normally looking at students having at least more than 50% in their high school, the 12th standard, if it is India and Nepal. And
Thank you,
the
Kavita.
IELTS requirement. Thank you.
IELTS requirement, absolutely. Right, now we have Wilhelmina. Sorry if I got the name wrong. If IELTS is, what is the IELTS level? Okay, sorry, I'll rephrase it. If the IELTS is not achieved for the desired entry requirements, can the student study ESOL, which is the English language? Kavita or Ada?
I can answer that. Yes, students can apply for English leading to the bachelor degree. So basically, we will do assessment of the bachelor degree first to make sure that the student meets the academic requirements. And then if the student meets it, then we can do an English offer leading on to a conditional offer for the degree. The ESOL qualification that we offer is the New Zealand certificate in English language, which is 1 semester in duration. So the student must complete that, and then depending on, they could do IELTS in between, or if they complete the level 4 academic in English, then they are able to get entry to the bachelor degree. And the cost for the English is $8,000 per semester.
Great. Thank you very much, Kavita. So we do offer New Zealand certificate in English language level 4 and 5. So if your students are interested, they can use it as a pathway for mainstream programs. So the answer is yes. Now, the next question here is from Lords again. Are internships typically paid? Peter or Brian? Yeah.
Yeah, I can jump in here. So the internships, like I mentioned, students can do their internship in their current employment, or we can help find the student a paid internship. So yes, 99% of the internships are paid.
Great. Awesome. And again, if you're doing a part-time job, that could be used as an internship for a degree.
Yeah, Bipul, it's very important to note that it has to be in the field of tourism and hospitality.
Absolutely. Yes, it has to be specific to that course.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian. Right. Now, Meenal, hi Meenal. Can you please discuss more about the entry requirements for academic? Entry requirements for, I'm not sure if Meenal is referring to the culinary arts or the hospitality or the degree in. So I think, Meenal, we would be sharing the information. Please review that, and if you got further questions, please contact the team. We'll be more than happy to clarify any doubts you might be having regarding the entry requirements. Moving on, right. So Lords is just acknowledging and making a statement. Thank you, Peter, for the clarification. Yes, you're right. Level 4 and 5 is more of a trade qualification, and Bachelor of Culinary Arts is more of a career. Thanks again. Thanks, Peter. Thank you lots for acknowledging that. Ritesh is asking a question here. An international applicant has only 5.5 in IELTS, so won't qualify for a direct bachelor's. Can such applicants have a pathway options into bachelor's at Ohomai?
Can probably answer that. At the moment, we have a pathway called the New Zealand Diploma in Tourism Management, Level 5, leading to the Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management. So students with a lower IELTS can get into the diploma. And during the diploma, the student must pass the diploma and also, not during the diploma, do the IELTS test and also pass the level 5, and then they can get into the second year of the Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management. But I think there is no pathway as such for the Bachelor of Culinary Arts at the moment. Please clear. Yeah.
Well, the pathway into the Bachelor, they could come and do Culinary Arts Level 4 would be a pathway.
Great. Thank you very much. Now, the next question is from Lords again. For the Bachelor of Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management, would you consider cross credits for students who are degree holders in hospitality and tourism management?
Yes, absolutely. So it's just a case of working with international applications. If you send in where you've studied and the qualifications you've got, we can definitely look at cross credit and how that matches into our degree. So we've got several students this year coming to study with us that have studied previously hospitality and management programs, and we've cross-credited them into the degree. So absolutely.
Great. Thank you, Brian. Now we have the next question from Elizabeth. She is I think she's one of the applicant for one of the programs. Hi, Elizabeth. The question here is, I'm a mature student. I want to do a diploma in hotel management in India for 1 year, after which I plan to do a master's in hotel management in New Zealand next year. Will I be eligible if I don't have any work experience in the field of hotel industry? I've done a master's in arts, bachelor in arts, bachelor in education previously, but as a teacher too, I don't have much of a work experience. I do have a lot of study gap. and work gap due to my marriage and family commitments, but I wish to get back to work culture soon. Please guide me. Okay, first of all, Elizabeth, thank you for your interest. There are several bits to it. Thank you for giving a background about your qualification and your personal and work experience. So the question here is, she's already gained a diploma in hotel management. Sorry, she wants to do a diploma in hotel management. Then she wants to do a master's in hotel management. Will she be eligible? Kavita or Ada?
I can answer this.
Okay, Kavita, go ahead. Yeah.
Firstly, at Toyo Homai, we are not offering the masters at the moment. So I think it would be best to connect with an institute that is offering the masters. But because also they'll need to check what kind of diploma that you're doing and consider all your background studies that you have done to check whether you will be eligible to get into the master's qualification. But you can add, Ada. Thank you.
I probably add a few things on, Elizabeth. I think are quite interesting to look at your application individually, and I probably don't want to comment too much. We do offer master in management. We do have a 2 years in 18 months master available, and they had endorsement in hospitality. There could be an option for you, but if you particularly just look into the master in hotel management, we don't offer. But I know most of our tourism and hospitality students will choose the master in management with their hospitality endorsement. So that will be one of the pathways. Again, you can email us. I just put our email address in our chat box in the international applications. We probably can discuss a little bit more privately. That would be better for us to provide you better suggestions. Yeah, thank you.
I'd just like to jump in here too. So I note that Elizabeth mentions that she wants to do a diploma in hotel management in India, so that could definitely do that, and we could definitely look at cross-crediting you into our degree. I would like to note that we've had several students that have gone on to master's degrees, so they've done the Bachelor of Hospitality and Applied Hospitality and Tourism Management with us, and then gone up to Auckland. Some of them have gone to Australia to do their masters. So that's another option.
Amazing. Thank you, team. The next question here is from Anshul Mehra. Is there any relevant work or qualification that is required for the admission into the Bachelor of Culinary Arts?
Yeah, I'll take that. Any relevant work for an applicant coming in? No, what we're looking for is a passion for food. I don't mean that you want to eat everything. I mean a passion for wanting to know about food and food culture and gastronomy and why food is so important to human beings, of every culture in every part of what that experience is. So when you're trying to build your CV around jobs, it could be volunteer work. You know, what have you done? Depending on where you are in the world, have you volunteered for organizations that feed the homeless, that maybe put on events that of religious events or cultural events that involve food? We're looking for our students to have that lifelong relationship with the food and food industry. So it's anything really. Don't be shy. If you made a lemonade stall at the end of your driveway when you were 7 years old, tell us about it, because I'll want to know what the lemons were that you used. Did you get them from your local tree? Did you borrow them from the neighbor? All of these stories are what food is to a human being. So don't be shy.
It could be you're cooking at home, right, Peter?
Yeah, absolutely. Helping your grandmother to, with some birthday celebration dinner that, you always did. It's helping with the Sunday roast. It's whatever it is that is the meaning of food to you. That's where we want to dig.
Amazing. That's very well explained. Thank you very much. I think we're almost at the end of it. Kavita has already answered this from Anonymous, but we'll put it out again. The percentage requirement, Kavita, did you already mention that, I believe, for the admission into the degree? Sorry, you're on mute.
Beppo, I just probably jump onto it, and I saw a
Yeah,
few
sure.
questions we already answered privately regarding accommodation, shuttle bookings, arrivals. For the people who are the students or the agents in the room, we will, for all the students who are going to pay the fees, we will definitely send you a checklist to prepare you how you come to New Zealand and prepare you well, had a safe journey and smooth journey and arrive New Zealand. Yes, we do have another team behind the scenes. We support your arrivals. So yes, we will support you for your accommodation, and we will also assist you for your shuttle bookings, etc. We will send you the checklist as well as the recording link for the preparation workshops we normally send to students. So you can, most of the question in your head before your arrival, what you're going to prepare, then that's that will be in the checklist we send to you. So, yep.
Thank you, Ada. I believe we should close it off now. And before we close, I would not leave this room before acknowledging our wonderful panelists for joining us today. And most importantly, our attendees for listening to us, asking questions, engaging with us, and also supporting us over the years. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here today, sparing your time listening to us. Again, feel free to ask any questions to our team later on. We'll be more than happy to share with you. We will be sharing the recording, as Ada has mentioned. Other important thing is tomorrow we're going to have a different webinar on the Master of Applied Science, which is a new exciting master's coming up in February 2024. So watch the space. We got some new exciting things coming up in the first half of 2024, and that's happening at the same time, 5 p.m. New Zealand time. But again, I'd like to pass the mic to our colleagues to share a few words before we close the webinar. Thank you.
I probably jumped in. Thank you very much for attending the webinar tonight, and I did put our contact email address on the chat box. So if you have any questions, let us know, and then our team will reply to you as soon as we can. For the recording, we will send to you by the end of this week. Thank you.
Kavita, Peter, and Brian, few words.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to this webinar. It's been a pleasure hosting you guys. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed the presentation, and we would really love to see you in New Zealand coming to study the tourism degree or the culinary arts degree. We really need young professionals in New Zealand, so we would really love to see you. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, Bipple from me. Hey, I teach on both. So, you know, my message would be thank you for listening, and I look forward to teaching you.
Amazing. Thank you very much, team. And thank you again to all our business partners. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Enjoy your morning, afternoon, or evening, and stay safe. Thank you so much. Kia kaha. See you soon.